What if I told you that creating a complete Kdp coloring book no longer takes days of designing, researching, and creating hundreds of illustrations manually? I found an Amazon Kdp tool that claims it can create an entire coloring book in just minutes. So I decided to put it to the test. I gave it a simple coloring book idea. I let AI handle the creation process, and we are going to find out if this is actually a game changer for Kdp creators or just another AI tool that looks impressive but produces something nobody would actually buy. Because creating images with AI is super easy. I mean, I can just go on ChatGPT and say, give me a unicorn, and ChatGPT is going to create an image for me. But the real challenge is creating a complete product. Something with consistent pages, a clear theme, and something that actually looks like a real coloring book. So in this video, we are going to create one from scratch and see what happens. Now, before we test this tool, let's talk about why this experiment is actually very interesting. Coloring books have become one of the most popular types of low-content books on Amazon Kdp. Now, unlike traditional books, you don't need to spend months writing chapters or becoming an expert author. It's literally visual. And if you can create designs people enjoy, you can definitely build a collection of books targeting different audiences and niches. The challenge, however, has always been the creation. Having to create like 30, 50, or even 100 unique coloring pages that maintain the same style and quality. And that's what we are about to find out. So for this experiment, I'm going to test a tool called Coloring Book AI. The reason I wanted to test this is because it specifically has a feature called the Coloring Book Generator. Now, with this feature, it says that instead of just generating random images, the idea is that you can give it a coloring book concept and it helps create the structure for the book with consistent themes and coherent images. Now, for this test, I want to create something that has a clear audience and isn't just some random AI generated page. So here's a concept we're going to use: a cute and relaxing coloring book featuring adorable woodland animals enjoying peaceful, cozy activities in nature. One thing I did notice about this particular feature is that if you do not have a story concept, you could literally tell this AI tool to give you a story concept. So as I click Inspire Me, it just comes up with a basic story concept. But I'm going to just be sticking with our own concept. Now, for the number of pages to generate, I'm just going to use 10 pages, basically for the purpose of this video. You can actually create up to 20, 100 and more. Now I'm going to hit generate. It has brought us to this page where it says we should set up the character before we get to the storyline and the cover. So basically it has just a 3-step process just to create the entirety of the book. Now for the character, looks like we're going to have to create it. So I'm going to hit create. Over here is where we're going to have the character name and either upload it from our library or we use a prompt to generate it. But because we're not illustrators and we actually don't have the image prior, I guess we're going with adding a prompt. So the character name is, I'll say Foxy, and I'll just say a cute, friendly, small, chubby fox. And I'll hit in create character. Let's actually see what this AI tool comes up with. Before we continue, if you want to see whether this AI tool that I'm going to actually use can actually create a publishable coloring book in minutes from start to finish, comment the word results. I want to know how many persons are really intrigued and interested in seeing the outcome. Honestly, this is not bad for the prompt that I used. I'll go with this one and click next. And I'm going to add the characters. And basically, I'm just going to use the same prompt. Next one is, I'm going to say Sam the squirrel and a cute, friendly, small, chubby squirrel. So basically, I'm just going to use similar prompts for all. Let's see what it's going to do. I'm actually impressed with how it gets cute features on first generation. So from these two, obviously it's this one because this one has no tail at the back. So basically what it does is it gives us the front, the side and the back view, I think, based on further generation in the pages. So I'll go with this first one, and I'm just going to use the same concept to generate a few more images. So I've created 6 characters. That's actually like the maximum number of characters that you can use for your coloring book with this actual feature. And now for the story concept, I can see that we can either use an auto-generate story or a custom plot. I think this custom plot is where would have to add everything ourselves. But of course, we're trying to see how well this AI tool can generate a coloring book as quick as possible. So I want to see how well it can come up with stories based on the concept we've given it. Now we have the number of pages, the difficulty level. You can choose based on the level of complexity you want. And I think it's actually cool, especially when your coloring book is serving a particular audience, either it's toddlers, teens, children, or adults. So I'm going to go with children because I want it to have a little bit of complexity in the background. And the dimension, I'll leave it as square. I'll remove watermark and I'm going to hit generate. So what this AI tool did was that it came up with a unique storyline. Each of them have handling, cozy activities together. So I'm reading through it and it's looking good. However, I want to see how well this AI tool can do when it generates all of them together. So I'm clicking generate all. Now, this is the part I'm most curious about because creating one good AI image is not difficult. The challenge is consistency. Will these pages actually feel like they belong in the same book? Will the characters look similar? Will the style remain consistent? So it has actually generated all of the images in a matter of minutes. I'm just going to take a look at the first one. Okay, this is actually way better than I expected. The first thing I noticed is that the style is consistent. You can see they both look similar in terms of the style, in terms of the coherent images as well. The characters look like they belong in the same world, which is usually one of the biggest challenges with AI generated book. Okay, we have this write-up, which is not supposed to be, but one thing this AI tool does allow is that we can regenerate it. So let me regenerate this one and see the better image. Obviously, we need to review every page carefully before publishing, but really what I've seen so far is a great starting point. For this, I don't like this line that cuts across and this incomplete sun. So I'm just going to regenerate to see if this AI can give a better image. So I'm just going to be going through it one by one. This looks good. It looks really good. But this one has 2 tails. Can you see? The concept is there, but when you actually look, you obviously see a few things that you need to improve before publishing. And this is where having control over the page idea becomes useful. So instead of accepting whatever AI creates, we can either regenerate or refine the instructions to push the result closer to what we want. So I'm going to regenerate, see if it gives us something better. So I'm going to go ahead and check what we regenerated. So we have this here. I think this is actually way much better in terms of the appearance, and still it did maintain the style. And one thing I really did notice about this AI tool is that even on first generation, you can tell in terms of the quality of the output that the AI tool is actually, kind of solid. You can tell it follows the image. The images are thick, which is exactly what buyers would want from their coloring books. This is as well good. So this is one of the images we regenerated and it's looking good. This is another image that we regenerated and it's looking even better. You can see the tail was fixed and every other thing is looking okay. You see, one of the things I've learned from using AI tools is that the first result is really the final result. But the biggest advantage comes from knowing how to guide AI and knowing how to clean up afterwards. Now, after this, I'm not just going to basically just skim through it and go ahead and publish. The next thing I will do is I'm going to click on next because there's still one part of this process that we haven't gotten to, which is the cover page. And in here is where we're going to put the cover page. I'm not really liking the styles that I'm seeing because it looks really monotonous. But let me not reel it off too early. I'm going to go to the title and say Cozy Happy Friends and the subtitle Cute and Comfort Coloring Book. Let me start with this first one. Let me see if it's going to give us a really good surprise. So I'm going to hit generate cover. So these are the two images that it gave. I'm not really pleased. Like I said, it has this monotonous feel, which, it doesn't make it stand out or give it that unique color pop. Let me try this one to see. Okay, this is why I wanted to test it properly. I mean, the idea is good, but the execution is not there at all. I mean, it looks so basic. It doesn't look like what someone is going to scroll on Amazon and stop in its tracks. So I'm going to try this third one because obviously we can't use this one. So I'm going to try this fourth one here and let's see what it can actually give. Okay, I think this seems to look a bit better. However, the rabbit is way huger than the other animals, which was not the intended idea. This looks cute. I mean, it's giving that cozy vibe. I mean, if I would actually go for anyone, I'll go with this one and hit generate. I mean, the background suits the theme and everything just, fits. And if you ask me, I would say this AI really did a good job. I mean, looking at this, I can honestly see how someone could use this as a starting point for creating Kdp coloring books faster. However, I'm not just going to publish it like this. I'm going to take it into Canva, have a deep look at it, and correct any little itty bitty mistake that needs to be corrected. Because remember, you're selling this thing to people, and if people feel that they don't get what their money, they may start leaving bad reviews, and we don't want that. So I see that it has upscale whole book, which is literally to upscale the images. I think this is really good. So I'm going to upscale everything. After which, I'm going to download everything and we take into Canva. So I already added the pages here, and honestly, this actually surpassed my expectation. And one of the things I would do is just add a stroke around. I could copy the style and apply it here. This one looks good, so I'll copy the style, apply it here as well. Now for this one, if I do a zoom in, you can see some things on the floor which are supposed to be like footprints, but they are poorly generated. So I can go ahead and just do a cleanup on that. So I could click on magic eraser, reduce the brush size, and I'm just going to cover it up. And I can delete that like so. I'm also going to be copying the same style around while doing the checks. And once done with that, the next thing obviously is to set up the cover. So I have added the front cover page and as well as the KDP templates just to know how to add things around. However, one thing I did notice about this feature is that it gives us a cover page but doesn't give us a back cover page. So we only have the front cover page and we have to sort out the back cover. What I will do is I'm heading into Gemini. I put the picture and I said remove all animals and text from the image, leave only the vegetation. The back cover page is not typically meant to be as complex or as detailed as the front cover. It should just be like an extension of it but without the extra details. This is perfect. I'm just going to flip it over. Looks good. And I'm just going to add some images behind. And this is how the final look of the book is like. So after testing this AI tool, particularly this feature, here's my honest takeaway. I really did like the faster idea generation, the easier creation process, and how helpful this is for absolute beginners who are just starting out. But you need to understand that human creativity is still involved. You saw the way that I had to clean out any rough edges or any little stuff that is not meant to be there. And also, having to be able to create the back cover page. Now, if you found this video helpful, then you're going to definitely find what I'm about to show you very helpful, because I tested the fastest way to create coloring books. So if you've been struggling with the ideation, creation, prompting, and all of that, I'm about to show you how I was able to cut that down into just minutes. You want to click the video you see on your screen right now and watch the full video on that. Ciao.